Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. Of course it's a Thursday, which means we have a brand new lap time challenge to go ahead and tackle. This time around it features the Honda NSX from 2017 over at Autopolis International Racing Course. So let's head for an overview. So as mentioned, this is the Honda NSX from 2017, a lot different from the previous generations, and it's set at Autopolis Racing Course on the full layout. As for the finer details, top 3% is gold, top 5% is silver, and top 10% is bronze. Of course, the track is Autopolis on the full course. Entry period is the 8th of May 2025 until the 22nd of May 2025. Usable tyres are sports mediums, wide body prohibited, and nitrous and overtake prohibited. Of course, your specified car is going to be the NSX 2017. BOP set to mid-speed. You can use a garage or event specified car, and your car settings are specified. Track limits are set to normal, and both penalty settings are set to on to invalidate your lap time. Okay, so let's get into the general tips and tricks section of the video. So the first thing I fully recommend doing before you even load up the event is head over to the qualifying time ranking board, go and load it up and head over to the global rankings. As long as you see a name with one of these little replay icons, you can go ahead and load up the replay from there to see what the fastest drivers are currently doing. Also, when you get into the event, you want to do the exact same thing, but once again, look for the replay icon and load up a ghost to just follow around and see what they're doing on track in live time. Okay, moving on to the more in-game tips, I fully recommend having all assists off apart from ABS at default. You can run it on weak if you really want to, but it's completely personal preference. Again, it will stop the car getting bogged down by the likes of traction control. Next up is going to be run a manual transmission. You want full control of your gears at all time, and the automatic transmission in GT7 is terrible. It will more than often just put you in the wrong gear. And finally, it's going to be remember to lift with this car. Throttle control is absolutely key here. If you just go onto the exit of corner and plant the throttle, then more than likely it's just going to understeer and throw you into the gravel. So you really just want to remember all that throttle control and to lift. Next up is going to be car specific tips. So first of all, let's head over and actually look at the car itself. This is the Honda NSX from 2017. It has a default PP rating of 578.17, a displacement of 3,492cc. It's four-wheel drive. Unlike the rest of the NSXs in game, it's a completely different beast. It also puts out a whopping 570 brake horsepower. It does weigh a fair amount more at 1780 kg. However, there's plenty of power pulling this thing along, so you don't really feel it at all. And of course, it is turbocharged. So if you want to purchase the car, it's going to set you back 230,000 credits, and I do fully recommend buying this car. It's fantastic overall, or you can rent it for this specific event. So as for the rest of it, it's a 570 brake horsepower, four-wheel drive, turbocharged rocket ship. It is an incredibly quick car with a ridiculous amount of grip. When it comes to road cars, it's up there as one of my personal favorites in the entirety of GT7. Now, as mentioned, the car is weighty, but because it has plenty of power pulling it along and that huge turbocharger, honestly, you're not really going to feel that weight whatsoever. Now, the car does have insanely good grip, as to be expected for a four-wheel drive car, and again, it does react well to the sports mediums that we're on. It also features great brakes, so thankfully it can get all of that weight and power stopped in time. Now, throttle control and lifting is key. Again, you don't want to get to the exit of corner and just plant your throttle, as again, it will just put that power down and it will probably just spit you out into the gravel trap. So again, you want to use plenty of throttle control and lifting when needed. Again, as mentioned, the car does have instant power delivery. Of course, it's four-wheel drive, turbocharged, a lot of power, so just be careful. If you are not used to this car and you just plant that throttle, it's going to put the power down straight away, and trust me, it's not a little amount of power. This thing is really kicking out some speed and it puts it down within a split second, so it really isn't for the faint-hearted, hence why I mentioned throttle control and lifting being the key to this one. Overall though, a fantastic package for a road car in GT7. So let's move in to the lap then. So at this present time, this is my kind of early fastest lap. It may improve, it may not. It depends how much I want to go back. So of course we're on the big long straight of Autopolis to begin with, and you're going to look over on your left hand side. Now you'll see an orange marker in the 100 board. I recommend between there to start braking, get yourself into third gear, and then bring yourself into the apex of the corner. As you can see, we're lifting and then we're slowly bringing that power back in. Again, just aiming for the curb on the exit. At that point we're going to be full throttle all the way down to the next corner. Now you're going to look for a little side road which is going to be just after the 100 board. Start braking there and once again get the car into third gear. We're going to then tap the brakes quite lightly just to allow the car to sort of turn in, gently put the power down, full throttle, and then lift and brake once again, just dabbing on those brakes every now and again just to allow the car to sort of rotate in the direction we want. We're then going to gently bring the power in once again, full throttle, and then brake nice and hard, ready for this right hander. Now get the car into second gear. You want to sort of run it a little bit wide and then bring it in, and then full power on exit. Now the car may spin up the rear here, but you will probably end up catching it quite easily. At that point we're full throttle, over to the right, switch back to the left, down into third gear, and then once again plenty of throttle control through this section. Full power up the hill and get ready for another heavy braking zone. Now since we're on an incline, the car is going to stop pretty quickly here. You're looking for the second arrow as your braking marker. You're going to get the car into second gear nice and wide at first, bring it on the inside and get ready to put your power down rather quite early here. Now just be aware that the rear end of the car might kick. As you can see, mine just slightly went away there. We're then going to power out in second gear, shift up to third, and then go through the gears once again. Now on your left hand side, I'd brake a little bit earlier here, just before the 50 board on the left. Get it into third gear and then lift off and let the car drift in. And then it's the same for the next right hander. Get on the throttle and plant it and get ready to head to your left. Now you can chop the curb up here, but don't do it too much or it will invalidate you. Maintain in third gear. We're then going to brake as the right hand curb starts, and then we're going to dab on them once again just to kind of get that car turning in. Now at this point we're going to bring the throttle in nice and gently and then power out just as we see the exit of the corner and see the next left-hander appear. At that point you're then going to chop the curb, keep the car in third gear, dab on those brakes once again and head to the left. Now at this point you're going to put the power in not too early, as there is a huge risk of running it wide here, which I almost did. Just managed to catch it, maintain in third gear, get on the brakes, and then once again just dab them on and off. At that point, full throttle and exit, chop up the curb, and away you go. And that is going to be a lap of Autopolis in the Honda NSX from 2017. I genuinely really enjoyed this one. At my time of making the video, I was 12th position in the world with a 157.546 on a DualSense PS5 controller. I might try again on wheel in a future date. Anyway, a huge thank you to all of my channel members listed on screen now, and a huge thank you to you guys watching at home. If this guide did help you out, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Huge thank you. Take care guys. Peace.